Hey, good morning. I'm Keith Schaefer. I am co-owner of Barnstormer Travels with my wife Eileen. And this morning I wanted to talk a little bit about our upcoming trip to Miami and our back-to-back cruises on the Norwegian Gem on the 3rd of October. So before I get started, first thing you need to do is please click on the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And if you like the video, make sure you click the like button. And also, you might want to click on the notification bell so the next time we send out a video, you'll get notification that it's come out. Now, all that being said, let's get started. So we leave in just under 2 weeks for Miami. Like I said, we're doing a back-to-back cruise on the Norwegian Gem, 7 days on the Eastern Caribbean, and of course, we'll fill you in on all that as we go along, and we'll be posting more on YouTube. And then we're going to come right back after those 7 days, go right back to Miami. We have to get off the ship. We'll get right back on. And then we're going to take 7 more days down along the Mexican coast, the Western Caribbean, they call it. And we'll hit some places like Roatan and Costa Maya and Cozumel. So what I wanted to do, though, today specifically is I want to talk a little bit about what we need to do to prepare for cruising in this era of COVID-19 and of course the Delta variant. As I mentioned, we're We're cruising on. I just got through working with American and JetBlue on our return trips. That's why I'm thinking flying. Anyhow, we're cruising on Norwegian Cruise Line. Now, the thing about Norwegian Cruise Lines is it is a 100% vaccinated cruise. All the cruises they're doing since they've started back in July are 100% vaccinated. That means 100% of the crew is vaccinated and 100% of the passengers. That means if you do not get vaccinated, you cannot get vaccinated. For example, children can't get vaccinated right now. If you are not vaccinated, you will not cruise on Norwegian Cruise Lines. That is their company policy, and it's been upheld in courts and everything like that. And in order to cruise on Norwegian, you do have to show proof of vaccination. You will have to show your vaccination card or electronic means or whatever is accepted by them. So, that being said, Eileen and I are both vaccinated. That's because we're both over 65, and we knew that being at risk and everything, we probably should do that. Those are pretty much personal decisions that we all make. But anyhow, bottom line is we are vaccinated. We did have future cruise credits, so that's why we're jumping on Norwegian while we can. And we actually feel like with all the protocols and everything that are going on, it's safe enough for us to do. So, number one. So, like I said, it is 100% vaccinated, and what that means is that when we show up at the terminal on the 3rd, we will have to show proof. And if you've been watching the news, if you're interested in cruising and you've kind of been keeping up with what the CDC guidelines are, you probably saw that around the 13th of September, the CDC has recently changed their guidelines to require or recommend that cruise lines do require a PCR/antigen test 2 days prior to the cruise, showing that if you're vaccinated, showing that you have tested negative for COVID-19. Norwegian does not require that. They don't require it because their protocol is everybody, since we're all vaccinated, everybody's still going to get tested at the terminal. So at their cost, Norwegian Cruise Line is testing everybody at the terminal. Okay, so that means that when we get there, we're going to do the swab, and I understand it's a very quick test. Everybody that's cruised so far says it's fairly unobtrusive, and it doesn't take much time at all. Everybody in your party tests negative, you're on the cruise. All right. So what happens if somebody in your cruise tests positive? Well, the first thing they're going to do, according to what we've been able to glean from other agents and from passengers, is they'll immediately test you again. So it could be a chance of a false positive. So Norwegian is going ahead and they're working through CVS pharmacies and they're testing again. If you do test positive, that means anybody that's in your group will not be allowed to board. Now, we always recommend whenever you take a cruise, whenever you travel, that it's probably a good idea to get travel insurance. It's a lesson that we learned when we were living in England for 5 years, that everybody that booked travel would always get travel insurance. And we certainly became believers in it for all the travels that we've done, and we certainly recommend it to all our clients and all our partners, that you do get travel insurance. In today's era of the COVID pandemic, you need to make sure that whatever travel insurance that you do get does cover the God forbid you get COVID, you're tested positive. Does the insurance cover your quarantine and costs of quarantine, things like this? Right now, what Norwegian is doing is, if you do test positive, they're saying that they're not necessarily responsible for helping cover the cost of quarantine if that happens when you get there, unless you have taken a PCR antigen test at least a minimum or a maximum of 3 days prior to showing up at the embarkation terminal. And if you do that, then what we're seeing is that they may, at their discretion, help with quarantine. So between the insurance and having had a test, it seems like Norwegian is willing to help out under those circumstances if you're vaccinated and you or somebody in your party does happen to test positive. So what's the lesson learned here? Eileen and I are going to get a PCR antigen test before we leave, for one reason, because we are getting on an airline, and we certainly don't want to be positive with COVID jumping on an airline. Take the possibility of spreading that in a confined space. Although we will be required to wear a mask. Right now in the States, we do not require PCR tests to travel from one state to the next, at least at this moment. So for now, we'll be good to go. So anyhow, so that's kind of just bringing you up to date on what we're seeing and what's going on, and certainly we'll keep you posted as we go through our cruise. Stay tuned for the 1st of October. We're going to be traveling from Fredericksburg, Texas to Austin. It's a short 1-hour drive, but we are going to do a live video there as we're heading that way to let you know what we found so far and how things are going, and kind of talk a little bit about what we're packed for, and some of the excitement that we've got for the things that are going to happen on our cruise. So again, remember to click the subscribe button if you learned anything today or you like the information. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you'd like to get more information, make sure you click on the notification button so that you'll know that we've just we either going live or we're sending out another video. So thank you very much for watching. Now go on vacation.